Hey Sanjay. Uh, Good afternoon. Sir, so I'll brief about myself. So I have got rejected once on 20th of April,
Yeah,
and I have got admission in University of Minnesota for my
okay.
full-time MBA program.
Yeah.
It's a 2-year program, and my next interview is scheduled on 9th of June, and
Okay.
I would
So
like
good.
to have a mock interview with you.
Right. So good. So hold on here. So very good thing that you told me that you unfortunately got refused on 20th of April, right? But then you have your interview on 9th of June,
Yep.
right? So anyone who's attending this seminar and once this webinar and once this also gets live, so everybody must know that Saransh unfortunately was refused, but then his interview is on 9th of June. That means he found a slot, right? So second time slots will also open up. So please don't stress out. So that's a very good thing that you've got a slot. And this also should give confidence to other students, those who are waiting in the queue, which unfortunately their visas were refused. However, let's move on to the next. So you let's go through a mock session.
Yeah.
So before I start a mock session, I want everyone to understand and realize one thing that the visa officer doesn't know you, right? There are close to about 7 to 800 people applying for visas on a given day, right? So the officers would have very limited time. So you need to provide relevant information voluntarily, which should be short, crisp, but it should have information. Okay. So let's start the mock session. So tell
Sanjay
me.
sir, if I can add one thing,
Oh,
so I would like to go back and tell you what happened in my interview.
uh-huh.
So the interviewer asked me that why you want to go to US, and the second question was why this particular university.
Okay.
So I think what mistake I made is I was overwhelmed by the so much overwhelmed by the surroundings. So whatever answer I had prepared for why you want to go to US, I couldn't able to deliver, and I just gave a single line answer that I would like to go to pursue my full-time MBA, and that's what I think when he made his mind. I think second question was just a formality, but that's what my thought process is. But yeah,
It's a very good point. Yeah, it's a very good point. And it is very important also, what Zolve is doing today is telling students across that you need to practice, you need to
true.
understand, a lot of people, if you see the army personnel or the cricketers, they would keep practicing because then it becomes a muscle, you know, muscle memory. So create that for yourself. When you give an answer, it should just flow. All right. Anyway, let's go with this.
Sure.
So, like you said correctly, that one-line answers will not work. You have to give a little context because the officer doesn't know you. So tell me, Saransh, why do you want to go to the US?
Officer, I have done my chemical engineering. I have done my undergrad in chemical engineering way back in 2018. And post that, I have been working for 7 years in product management, operational excellence, and product project management in consulting industry. While this experience has been valuable, I would like to pursue my MBA to deepen my understanding in strategic thinking, leadership management, as well as global business perspective. This will help me to assume the leadership role when I come back to India, such as supply chain lead or product lead in a manufacturing industry, or either a senior consultant role in a global consulting firm, which is aligning with my long-term and short-term career goal.
Okay, it's a very good answer, but somewhere it is a little lengthy. So try and shorten the answer, and be more crisp. So that's a very
Okay.
good answer. I'll tell you why is it a good answer, so that everyone also can learn through this. Is because you're connecting the dots for the officer, and then it also tells the visa officer what are the gaps that you believe are there in your profile in order to take on bigger roles.
Okay.
So good format, very nice. So why this university?
Officer, I would like to pursue my MBA, and based on my research, I applied to 9 US universities. Out of them, I have got admission in four. I have choose University of Minnesota Carlson School of Management because its curriculum really resonates with my career objectives. Uh, the curriculum is offering me the core subjects like strategic management, financial and marketing management, data statistics for managers, and leadership and professional growth, which I really think these subjects will equip me to take on bigger roles in my current organizations when I come back. Also, it is providing me the electives such as strategic sourcing, negotiations, which will also help me in which will also help me in understanding the critical concepts related to supply chain management. What really sets Carlson apart is their experiential learning program, and especially their consulting enterprise, which will allow us to work on real-time problems with the big consulting firms. Apart from that, the program is also STEM designated, which means I'll be learning technical and analytical skills, which are really relevant in today's data-driven business environment. On top of it, okay, that's it, Sanjay sir.
Okay. So good.
Sanjay sir, yeah, one thing, actually last three lines, what I was about to add is, the university has awarded me the best financial assistantship, which I see as both as a recognition of my profile and the university's faith in my ability to excel further in my career. These lines I wanted to add, but I didn't add. I just wanted to understand from you whether should I add it or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
So once again, the answer is good. What I do is in my consulting, I want the student to give me the complete answer, whatever is going in their mind, so that I can understand that if he's making any mistakes, I need to stop him, right? Because you frame this answer and you believe this is a good answer, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
somewhere you did point out certain things which were incorrect.
Okay,
All right. Okay. Once again, the answer was way too long. You have to
okay,
really, really shorten it. You've got to
okay.
make it much crisper. Your beginning was good. So you've got to start by saying, why have you chosen this university, sir? Because I want to specialize because, I've been working in the industry for 8 years or, maybe good, good 7 years. So I'm
Yeah,
looking at leadership roles. So I'm looking at strategies. I'm looking at management. I'm looking at operations. So based on that, I did my research, applied to X, got X
okay,
admits. But Carlson stands out because they have experiential learning, plus they have very practically designed. So you shorten the answer. All
got
right. Now, two things here. So one, you pointed out that they've given you a scholarship or a financial aid. That's not the reason that you've chosen the university.
yeah, that's
It is
true.
counterproductive.
Okay,
Okay. So this you can use in the funding part. I'll tell you
got
how. Right.
it, got it.
And then you also inform the officer that it's a STEM designated program.
Yeah,
Right. Now,
yeah,
STEM you explained it well, saying that it has a lot of technical aspect. But as a visa officer, the officer may believe you've chosen a particular program which is STEM because you want to do a 36 months of OPT, right? So
okay,
again,
yeah,
interview is perception, and interview is like subjective,
true.
right? So I would leave that part.
Okay, sure.
Then it
Understood.
becomes little counterproductive.
Got
Okay,
it. Got
right?
it.
You could say that it has a lot of technical, it is technically driven. They've used a lot of technology for making data understanding much better rather than STEM designated. Same thing, different format.
Got it. And should I mention subjects also, like what I'm going to study in this question?
Definitely, yeah, yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah. Because the whole idea of choosing the university is not the location,
The
not that
theoretical.
they're giving you a scholarship, right? Because it is giving you those subjects.
True,
So
true.
bring that element there. All right. So did you
Correct.
appear for a GMAT?
Yes, I have appeared for GMAT, but most of the universities have waived the requirement for GMAT based on my career path, as well as based on the experience which I had.
Okay. All right. This is good for me because it seems that uh, either you heard my answers or you've
Yes,
done.
yes, I have went to your through your interviews and I have prepared it accordingly.
Yeah.
Sanjay.
So that's the reason there's a smile on my face. I said, "Arey, ye to sune hue lag rahe answers." So that's a good. All right. So how will you fund your education?
So my primary source of funding is my family. My family has an annual income of 15 lakhs and they have a savings of 1 CR. We also have a immovable assets worth of 1.5 CR. On top of it, I have received merit-based scholarship from University of Minnesota, which is covering 75% of my tuition fees.
Okay. It's a good answer. So once again, thoda sa crisp kar lena. How will you fund yourself? My parents are professionals. They have a current annual income of 15 lakhs. We've got savings and investments for. So don't say CR.
Okay, got
Say
it.
1 crore. Because sometimes the officer may not understand that. All right. Okay. So good.
Sir, one question in this, should I mention about the education loan which I'm going to take, but I haven't applied for yet?
Look, going to take is something else.
Okay, got
If
it.
you have it, only then say it.
Sure, sure.
All right.
Thank
Cool.
you.
So what changes have you made in your application this time?
So officer, I have updated my DS 160. Last time around, I couldn't able to write about my professional accreditations and certifications. I have updated my DS 160 with those certifications and accreditations.
Okay. So no. So this will not work. You know,
Okay.
so the answer should be, so what changes have you made? So this time I'm carrying additional financial papers and property papers to show strong ties to my home country.
Okay.
Right.
Got
So
it.
you need to counter the 214B.
Got it.
Like, usually the officers don't see those documents. So you can say I've added more documents to show ties to my home country.
Got
Right?
it.
Okay. So why can't you do a similar program in India? Why go to the US?
So officer, since so I was always targeting global business MBA program because they offer a diverse peer groups, and they have a strong experiential learning programs as well as the global exposure. The US universities changed their curriculum according to the industry standards, which is quite relevant in today's dynamic environment. The kind of global peer environment and the industry connections which US universities provides are unmatched. And also, US universities provides an option to choose your electives so that I can make my MBA program tailor-made according to my career objectives.
You're
That
talking
is
about the
why.
industry connections, right?
Pardon, sir?
You're talking about the industry connections.
Yeah. So is that
So what does that tell the officer? I just heard that, right? And
okay? Got it.
so again, I'm choosing what I want to hear, right? And I'm trying to catch those. For me, industry exposure or industry connection means that you're possibly looking for jobs there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Correct?
Okay.
So
Got
one
it.
word could change the entire format or the flavor of the answer. Okay. So why can't you do this in India? Well, sir, I did look at a couple of Indian schools here, but however, when I matched the course content, the curriculum, the teaching methodology, I found US would be a better option for me. And moreover, because I've been working for almost 7.5 years,
Seven
or 8
years.
years,
Yeah.
I'm looking at, taking on international roles once I come back. I'll be dealing with a lot of international clients, right? So having a global exposure would really give me that understanding how to deal with clients at the international level.
Got it. Got it.
Experiential learning, curriculum at the international level, um, industry oriented curriculum,
Yeah.
industry ready. So you can talk about all that.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Sparsh, I think you're in the right direction. I'm very hopeful that when you go in next time, you will crack the interview.
People have a
Uh,
really interesting question to ask
Yeah.
Sharans actually. I think you just mentioned you got refused in the month of April.
yeah,
Right.
20th of April.
And then how did you got a slot for June then? I think people are really curious to know about it.
I mean, I think I just updated my DS 160, applied for the fees again. I mean, there's nothing special. I think I have followed the normal procedure. But yeah, I'm also hearing from a lot of people that people who got refused in December, Jan, still are not getting the slots again. But I'm not sure how the system works, but I followed the natural procedure which is there.
Got it. So you simply reapplied and you just got
Yeah. I have updated the 160 and then I have paid the fees and reapplied again.
got it. Got
Right.
it.
But yeah, one thing I would like to say is that the time during which I apply was something odd. So I was looking at window randomly at 2 a.m. in the night and suddenly I got the slot. So that's just the input which.
Did you also had to pay the service fee again?
No service fee again, only the visa, the 16,095 rupees, which we generally pay for.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
Thank you. Thanks, Sanjay sir. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks. You've got the pointers, so I'm sure you'll crack the interview. Just try and concise your answers.
Sure.
Focus more on returning back. Focus more on your career growth here, and also talk about the kind of situation that you see in India, right? And
Okay.
what are the problems, the gaps that you see that you can come back and fulfill those gaps once you return back.
Sure.
And
Sure.
then it becomes so that it tells the officer that you understand the market and you want to provide solutions. So that
Got
would
it.
be really good.
Officer, when you asked who is sponsoring or your education, so basically my parents are the only ones. So should I mention parents specifically or family is fine?
You can say family or family
Okay,
or parents,
cool.
it's okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
so
All
much.
right, Saransh. Yeah, Maxwell, please, you can go.
Yes. Hi, Max.
You have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, hi. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Max. Go ahead.
Yes, so it is early morning here, so I wish, so my face is quite some way. All right, so this will be my third time. going for the interview. I've been refused twice. One in June last year and the other one in December last year. But let me give you the background to those two refusals. The first one, I had no scholarship, I had no funding. And then I used my uncle as the sponsor. The second one, I had a 35,000 scholarship, but my deficit was still huge, 45,000, and I still used my uncle. But this time around, I have an assistantship, and I'm footing the deficit by my own self. So I'm using personal funds for the deficit. Yeah, so that is the background, and I'm going for an MBA program.
Okay, which university?
It's Appalachian State University, please.
Okay, and how many universities did you apply to?
So I've applied to about 7 universities. I've been admitted to all of them, but Appalachian has given me a lot of funding, and that is why I've chosen it, please.
So other universities that you're not going to are much higher rank than this university? Is that so?
Yes. So I've been admitted to Georgia State University. I've been admitted to Florida State University. I've been admitted to Arizona.
Okay. So a
Yes.
couple of things here. The first thing is that when you'd applied initially for your visa, and when you said that your uncle is going to sponsor you, so that's a very negative thing for the visa officer. Now, why is it negative? Because if you read your 214B, it says that student could not show his ties to the home country, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about ties, what do they actually mean? They actually mean your social ties, your family's financial ties, right?
Okay.
And then, of course, your professional goals in your home country.
Okay.
All right. So when you say that my uncle is going to sponsor me, that somewhere tells the officer that maybe your family does not have enough funds.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So which also then translates to that you may work in the US to support your family in your home country. All right.
Okay.
So that's one part. The second part is now that you're getting a scholarship, but then you got into much better colleges. So you don't have to talk about the choice of college based on the scholarship.
Okay.
You know, so if you highlight that saying that, I've chosen this college because they're offering me a scholarship, that means again, lack of funds because old records are already there.
Okay.
And then you're choosing a college which is offering you a scholarship opposed to the university which are better ranked.
Okay.
Right? So is your focus going to the US or going to study in the US?
Okay.
Right? If you want to go and study in the US, then your focus has to be the quality of education, the ranking of university, right?
Okay.
The subjects that you've chosen.
Okay.
Right? So when they ask you this question, why have you chosen this university? Your answer should be, so based on my requirement, because I'm going to do an MBA and I want to specialize in a particular area, right? So I've chosen 5 colleges. I've got all the admits, but I've chosen this particular college because of the course content, and then name the subjects that you want to go and study there.
Okay, please.
And then tell them that these are the subjects which would really help me achieve my career goals in my home country once I return back.
Okay.
And then comes the second part. How will you fund yourself? Your answer would be, sir, I've been working for X number of years. My family has been saving. So I have my own funds here. At the same time, looking at my credentials, the colleges offered me a scholarship as well.
All right. I would actually want a mock, but if I can give you my response for that, and then
right. So I'm coming. So I want you to understand this. Now we'll go for a mock. Okay. So tell me, why do you want to go to the US?
All right. So I'm going to the US to pursue Master of Business Administration at Appalachian State University. This program would give me the opportunity to learn from the best practices in the consulting industry as I work as a product manager in a consultancy firm. We are basically into finance and business development. The courses I'll be taking is into grants writing, applied data analytics, and strategic financials and all those ones. They are going to help me to improve my skills and also help me learn new things and how to apply them. Upon completion of my program, I'll return to assume a senior partnership role at my current firm that I work in. And yes, I think.
Okay. So Max, so when you start your answer, in your answer, you've got to give a little background on yourself.
Okay.
Otherwise, the officer is thinking, are you, a computer engineer? Are you working for a
Okay.
bank? Are you a dentist? Who are you? Right?
Okay.
So give a context.
Okay.
So I did my bachelor's. I've been working in the financial industry for X number of years and looking at the way the financial market is going in my home country. I decided to do an
Okay.
MBA and specialize in finance with, data architecture or data science,
Okay.
which would give
Okay.
me a better decision making process for the financial,
Okay.
institutions in my home country.
Okay, please.
Okay, so always try and
All right.
connect it with your home country.
Okay. Can I take that again?
Yeah, sure. Tell me, why do you want to go to the US?
All right. So my name is Maxwell. I have a bachelor's in accounting, and I've been working with a consultancy firm for the past 3 years. I've worked on gigs from the World Bank, MasterCard, and the Ministry of Finance Ghana, where we train SMEs and entrepreneurs in financial literacy and how they can scale up their business. I want to pursue a Master of Business Administration at Appalachian State because it would help me to acquire new knowledge and also learn from the best industry aspect, as Appalachian State has an opportunity for me to learn on real data scenarios and real business problems where I'll provide solutions to those ones. And I believe that upon return, I would assume a senior partnership role in my current firm that I work in, and I would help to create jobs and empower businesses in Ghana and improve the economy of Ghana.
That's a good answer. Okay. So why have you chosen this particular university?
I've chosen this particular university because it would give me the opportunity to practice in real life situation, real business problems, and also help me in courses like grant writing. In the consultancy firm that I work in, grant writing is very crucial, where we help businesses to get source of funding and where we help them to write their grants properly to be able to achieve them. And that course is one that is dear to my heart, so that I'll be able to improve my grant writing skills and also have connections and network that I'll fall on when I return to my home country to assume a senior partnership role.
Okay. So how many universities did you apply to?
I've applied to about 6 universities: Florida State University, Arizona, and then others. But I chose Appalachian because it would give me that opportunity to network, to learn with real-time data, and also solve real-time business problems. I believe that would be crucial to my return to Ghana, and that would help me to advance in my career.
Understood. Now, why did you change the university from your last two refusals?
Yeah, so I changed the university because I believe the Appalachian State University has a good course content where I'll be learning data analytics, data visualization, and how to make decisions based on data and how to solve real-time business problems. And I believe those are crucial to someone that is already in the consultancy firm, and I'll be able to improve upon my skills and then get better things. Also, I've been offered an assistantship that would cover a significant portion of my funding and
No, the first part was
okay.
good. When you start talking about the funding that you've received, then it goes into a different direction. So you don't have to
Okay.
mention the choice of college and the changing over here. All right. How will you fund your education? Earlier, your uncle was sponsoring. How come he's not sponsoring you now?
Okay, so the reason why my uncle is not sponsoring me now is that now my deficit is significantly lower. And because I've been working for the past 3 years, I've have personal savings that will be able to suffice for the deficits now. That is why I'm using my personal savings to do that.
So why was your uncle sponsoring you earlier?
So yes, so my uncle was sponsoring me for two reasons. One, because my deficit was high, which my personal savings couldn't suffice for. And two, because he's been taking care of me from the senior high school to the university. And then I told him about my admission, and he says that he'll be able to do that. But now that it's lower, I want to take that cost by my own self. And that is why I'm using my personal savings to do that.
So what
And
are your
it
parents
would be.
doing?
Say again.
What are your parents doing?
All right. So my dad is actually not really well. So my mom is a trader. We have some assets, and we have real estate. But my uncle has been taking care of me since the senior high school and then to the university. That is how come he offered to help me with the masters. But now
I'll make
that's
one correction here. So when he says, "What are your parents doing?" instead of saying that my father is unwell, say that we have a family business. My parents
okay.
are taking care. Instead of just saying that father's not well, my mother's taking care, just say it's a family business.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason why I mentioned that is that in my previous interview, I said that though. That is why, yeah.
Right. You could say that my father contributes in our family business, which is
Okay.
primarily run by my mother. Right.
Okay.
However, my uncle is very close to me and he's been very encouraging. Right.
Okay.
So he's from your mother's side or your father's side, your uncle?
He's from my father's side. From my
Okay.
father's side.
All right. So why is your uncle sponsoring? Say that we have a very close knit family. My
Okay.
uncle, who's my father's younger brother or elder brother, has been very close to me, and he's been the driving force for me to take on.
But this time around, my uncle is not sponsoring me.
No, I know
I'm
that. The
sponsoring
question
myself.
is no. The question is,
Okay.
why is your uncle not sponsoring you now? And what
Okay.
was
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
in that
Okay.
sense? Not now. Now that you're
Okay.
sponsoring and you got a substantial scholarship, that's good. Okay. So
Okay.
how will this education help you? What are your career goals?
So sorry. I lost you. Please.
Okay. So how will this education help you? Or what are your career goals?
All right. So this education would help me improve on my grant writing skills, will help me to appreciate how to use data to make informed decision and how to better create products that would help solve the business problems that we face in our consultancy firm. And upon return, I would assume a senior partner role in my consultancy firm that would help me to be better placed to solve the problems of SMEs in the Ghanaian economy and to create jobs for people that have business ideas by helping them access funding and helping them to be able to navigate the very difficult business terrain. And I would help to do that to create more jobs and to improve upon the economy when I return to Ghana.
All right. So what you need to do is how will this education help you? First, talk about Ghana, what's happening in Ghana, and what are
Okay.
the companies looking for, and then talk about your skills that can help them achieve that. All right.
Okay.
Not the other way around.
Okay.
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 Good. So
Okay.
keep that concept in mind, and then
Okay.
frame your answers. I think you're going in the right direction. The only thing is
Okay.
sometimes your answers get a bit longer. You have to shorten them,
Okay.
bus. Okay.
Okay. Please.
Great.
Okay. Please.
All the best, Maxwell.
All right, then last one question, please. In my previous interviews, because my uncle was the one sponsoring, I didn't quote my exact salary on the DS 160. I think I wrote 3,000 Ghana cedis though. But now that I'm sponsoring myself, I want to increase it to my real pay. That's about 10,000 Ghana cedis. I don't know if that will raise any alarm or if it makes sense to do that.
But it's not going to make any difference as long as you have enough documents to back up your salary.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Okay. Yes. 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 So I have a letter from my company and all those ones.
Right. You should carry that.
Okay. All right, please. Thank
All
you so much. I really
Max,
appreciate it.
All the best.
all
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thanks.
So just answering a few questions that I'm seeing on the chat box that,
Yes.
oh, I'm not getting an option to switch on my camera. I'm not getting an option to switch on my audio. Guys, there are 143 of you right now, right? So just wait in the queue. We'll give access to everyone. Maitri has been waiting for a long time. Maitri, yeah, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
Uh, yes, so actually, I have the visa interview scheduled for next week.
Maitri, we
Okay.
can't see you. Oh, we can. Just a second.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So I'm actually looking to practice some of the
Right.
answers.
Okay. And I'm sure you've heard the conversation that I've had with others.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me just go ahead and ask you a question straight off. So tell me, Maitri, why do you want to go and study in the US?
I have a background in computer engineering, and I want to go to US to pursue a master's in engineering management because it offers a more practical and research oriented exposure. I believe this approach will help me build the technical and managerial skills, an opportunity to participate in collaborative projects, hands-on learning in the US, and all of which will help me grow both personally and professionally.
Good. So when was it that you completed your bachelor's?
So I've just finished my last semester exams, and I'll get the results in June.
So a lot of students, those who are going for masters, they would put in at least 2, 3 years of experience. Why do you need a master's now?
Uh, uh, I I uh, I want to advance my education and expand my skills, and
But I understand that. Like anyone who's done 2, 3 years of experience would like to expand their understanding. But why do you need a master's now?
uh,
Okay. All right. So what happens is that we need to understand that the officer could ask anything, right?
yeah.
So usually the question is why a master's now? Okay. So your answer would be, sir, that I when I was doing my internships, you know, I realized how the technology has grown and have moved into a different direction altogether. And then at the same time, I also spoke to the industry professionals, my professors, right, and my peers, and I've understood that upgrading my skills at this point of time would really give me a very strong base for a very strong foundation for me to go, professionally, right? In order to grow professionally, I believe this is the right time for me to invest in my higher education.
Okay, thank you.
Understood? Good.
Yes.
All right. So, how many universities did you apply to, and why have you chosen this one?
I've applied to 5 universities in total, and I've received admits from 3. And I've chosen to go to the University of Southern California because of its outstanding faculty and curriculum that blends technical depth with leadership skills. Also, the Viterbi Schools of Engineering emphasis on innovation and integrated learning aligns with my career goals. I'm also looking forward to courses in engineering management, like project management and statistics for engineers that focus on real world decision making.
Okay. So, tell me two advantages of project management.
Uh, uh, Project management focuses on strategic decision making based on the actionable insights, and also it helps you to collaborate with uh, teams and participate in global discussions.
Okay. So now the officer is not asking you the regular questions, right? Why do you
Yeah.
want to go to the US? Why have you chosen this particular university? How will you fund your education, right? Why can't you do this in India? Why US? Okay. So sometimes the officer believes that the university that you're going to is a very good university. It's highly ranked.
Yes.
Now, what the officer has done is he shifted his focus on your understanding of that particular program, right? Because in a day, he sees those regular answers coming in. Okay. So,
Yes.
anyone who's listening to this conversation must also look at the implementation of that program. How would you use that program in real life, right? You must know that. Sometimes he'll just ask you one question. Can you just explain me what is project management and where will you use? If your answer is correct, he may not even take another interview. For him, that's enough. Okay. So not
Yes.
only just the regular questions, but because it's your domain, right? So you must have better answers than his understanding. Okay. So make sure whatever subjects you're talking about, you must know how to implement those for a better result. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
So did you apply to any of the Indian schools?
No, although I did research similar courses, sorry, just a second. Although I did research similar courses in India, but the curriculum of engineering management in US uh, was more aligning with my career goals. And US also offers flexibility to choose the core curriculum and electives. So
Okay,
I
good.
chose US.
So what are your parents doing?
My father is a building materials supplier, and my mother owns a distribution business of FMCG products.
Wonderful. How many siblings do you have?
None. I am the only child.
Okay. So do you have relatives in the US?
No, I do not have any relatives residing in the US.
Okay. Which is the second best college that you've gotten into?
Just I received the admit from North Carolina State University as well for the same program.
Okay. So why aren't you choosing North Carolina?
Uh, I've chosen the University of Southern California because
No, that I understand. But why
yes.
aren't you choosing North Carolina?
Um,
Okay, so first thing, Maitri, I really appreciate you coming and taking the mock session. That's very good, right? Because you're coming on a platform and asking these questions, and I'm taking you in a different direction altogether, and I'm pushing you. So first of all, I really want to appreciate that you're taking this. Second, these are some certain questions. Sometimes the officer, ask you or ask anyone to put you off the grid, right? He
yes.
understands that he, day in day out he's asking these questions. Everything is online, but he wants to understand your understanding of a particular, not only just the subject, but also the university. So when you say that this is the second best, so your answer should be yes, sir. I did look at the curriculum. I look at the content. I really looked. I compared the professors. The comparison between these two universities are almost the same. However, CMU stands out because it has two other electives which were not being offered there, right? So you don't have to just jump on saying that I've chosen CMU because it's a better ranked university. But first, also talk about that so the officer understands your seriousness of choosing a particular program.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Now, once you graduate from the US, it's a highly ranked university. The job offers would really come through. Would you like to work in the US for a while?
Uh, After, sorry, sir, I couldn't actually hear the full
Okay.
question.
So once you complete your education in the US, your master's, you may have options to work in America. Would you consider working there?
After completing my master's, my plan was always to return to India and eh, uh, work and apply the strategic and analytic skills I've gained during my studies to contribute to operations, project management, and innovation initiatives, and contribute more to the evolving tech landscape in India.
Okay, very good. Now, what about your OPT? Would you consider doing your OPT there?
Uh, if Sir, I don't know how to answer this question without seeming too keen on working in US.
Correct. Good. So that's the reason I put you in a spot. So first
Yeah.
I asked you, would you like to work in the US? And then at the same time, all the students they keep talking about is US education is very practically designed. We get a lot of hands-on experience. We'll get certain internships, CPT and all. But then when it comes to work, that's the right answer. I don't want to work there. But because you've committed so much, and if the officer says, what about your OPT? So then the mind says, should I say yes or should I say no?
Yeah.
Right? So the answer, a perfect answer to that is that OPT is a part of the US education system, which allows international students to do internships to get some industry exposure. So I'd like to take that experience before coming back to India.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a part of it.
Right.
Good, good. So it's a good experience for you.
Yes.
You understand, okay, apart from the regular question answers, there also could be off-grid questions. So because you're going and you're committing to spend thousands of dollars to, get into a particular college, into a subject. So also understand the subject,
Yes.
right? Because the subject has to be the king. And how do you implement that subject for better solutions?
Oh,
Okay, good.
yes.
So you've got an
Thank you, sir.
insight. So work
Yes,
on
thank
that.
you, sir, so much for your feedback.
I'm so happy. But I'm sure you'll crack it. I like to, sometimes ask regular questions and put you off the grid so that you're prepared holistically.
Yes.
Because your objective is to crack the interview.
Yes.
Your objective, our objective, Zol's objective is to assist and get the result. All right?
Right. All the best, Maitri.
Thank
Thank
you.
I hope you crack your visa interview and come back to me with a great story.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So many people in the queue. Please,
No.
Sapna will go ahead, and then I think Hargun on very popular demand. Everyone wants Hargun
Argun?
to give
Wow.
his mock interview because his interview is coming soon. But
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful. Sure.
after Sapna, please. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yes, Sapna.
So,
Hi.
very good afternoon.
Good
Nice to
afternoon. How
meet
are
you.
you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. What about you?
Doing very well.
So
I'm
it's
enjoying this.
it's so, yeah. So it's actually my first time. I've seen you on YouTube multiple times, giving mocks to students. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
enthusiastic
I'm
to
good.
join
I'm
you.
lucky today. I'm
Yeah.
lucky.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So we'll straight jump into the conversation. So tell me, why do you want to go to the US?
Officer, I have finished my Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Gujarat University, and where I've done my majors in nursing. So now I look further to do the bachelor, so do the masters in the public health. That stands for the epidemiology, which is my major. And in that, the major reason for choosing this masters in the USA, as it is offering me not just physical health exposure, where it actually stands that health is only about the physical health, but it also articulating with me the modern technology where it is using data science, collaborate the data to provide the care to the public in the major concern. That is one major reason for choosing USA for my master's.
Okay. So you've done your BSc nursing here in India.
Yeah.
So why a master's in public health? How would you use?
So, sir, yeah. So because the nursing is squarely focused on the one individual, I can just provide care to one person at one time. But if I'm gonna do this masters in public health, I'm gonna get in touch with the multiple public sectors such as the NGOs and private sectors, and I can just collaborate with the primary health centers where I can just get into the larger areas of population where I can just combat the diseases that is more prevalent such as obesity, diabetes, and malaria, etc.
Okay. So you could also add some master's in public health is something which is really close to my heart because a lot of people come to the hospital for the curative aspect, but public health would give me an outreach for preventive aspect, which is the key word, is the preventive aspect because now people are more health conscious and prevention is better than a cure.
Yeah.
So MPH would give me the right kind of tools to address a larger audience for preventive aspect. My outreach would be much bigger. Fantastic. All right. So how many universities did you apply to and why have you chosen this one?
Yeah, officer, I have applied to actually 5 universities and I got admit from 5. So the reason for choosing Texas A&M University Health Science Center, the major reason is it offering me the electives that I cannot find anywhere, such as the spatial epidemiology and global health epidemiology. Apart from that, the major factor that draw me to this university is the PATI support that stands for the epidemiology support, where students are providing the on-field experience. They're getting hand experience on field while studying their masters. So till now, 40,000 population is covered by these grad students only. So I want to be part of that particular feature in that university, so I can just not masters, but I can also get the on-hand experience while working with these sectors in the Texas A&M University.
Okay. So Sapna, one thing that I've noticed is you rushing to your answers.
Yeah.
All right. So don't rush your answer because the officer, because again, 700 interviews, they're listing so much, right? And if you just take your pace, try and have your answers in a very concise manner with points, with something which we say is going to be with lot of calmness. You're rushing for your answers. Don't rush it. Okay.
Yeah, all
So
right.
take
I
it
will
easy
come.
and
Yeah.
give your answer, which should be very clear. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Shall I start
So
again?
no.
All right.
So did you take any test like a GRE or any other entrance like in
No, sir. I'm not taking any tests apart from IELTS.
okay? So when you talk about MPH, why can't you do this in India? There are a lot of universities here down south. Those who are teaching MPH, why not here?
Yeah, officer, the major reason that is setting me to USA is just because the Indian curriculum is there, but it is not having the integration of the data science and the tools that I have that I need in this modern science technology. That is USA's universities are not offering me not just the physical health, but it is also integrating the uh, technologies like computing management in this system to get the accurate data, so I can just not only get into the particular disease, but I can just get the how many population is going to get into this diseases. That exposure I want get in this Indian university, that just only focus on the theory where it's to read
Okay,
one only particular
Sapna,
physiological. Yeah, yeah,
can you shorten the answer?
yeah.
Give
I
me a
can.
short answer. Give me a short answer. Why can't you do this in India?
Just think that because of the particulation of the uh, technology into the modern health. So that's the reason why to say as it is giving me exposure to use
Unfortunately,
my data science.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sapna, sorry.
Hello.
Unfortunately, your voice is cracking a lot. It's not very clear. Unable to hear you properly.
All right. All right.
Yes. Can we
Just give
join
me a second.
again?
Sorry. Now, sir, it is good. It is good.
Yeah. I mean, when you say it's good,
Hello.
I can hear you, but then I don't know whether the sentence
Yeah.
would come clear or not.
Sapna, just
Okay,
switch
sir. Now am I
and just
audible?
speak. Switch off your video and just
Yeah. Switch off
answer
your
All
video.
right.
question.
Yeah. Yeah, Sapna. Can you shorten the answer?
Yeah.
Why can't you do
Hello.
a similar program in India?
Yes, the reason for choosing USA, especially for the MPH, is the articulation of the health within technology that use the provided data tools and the computing system to get the sample collection in the population that help me to get this evidence-based practice, not of the human being.
Okay. How will you fund your education?
Officer, in my admin, there is amount of
Sorry, Sapna,
for
unfortunately, we
that
are not able
expenses.
to hear you.
Yeah.
Really sorry. I think, Mansi,
All
can
Yeah,
we connect again with Sapna, please? I'm really
sure,
sorry.
sure,
I'm
sure.
not able to hear her properly.
We'll have to, I mean, Sapna, you can join again, maybe.
Again, please.
Yeah.
Really sorry.
Sure.
Hi, Argun.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. What about you?
Very good. So, आप क्या पढ़ने जा रहे हो? ये बताओ.
Sir, if I have to submit up in a crisp, so I have just recently completed my 12th. Even the result was announced just 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and I got 98%.
Very good. Which
So,
university?
California State University, Sacramento.
How many universities did you apply to? Can you name the universities?
So I have applied to the 4 universities, namely Cleveland State University, University of Wisconsin Eau Claire, California State University Sacramento, and California State University Fresno.
Okay, good. So, do you have relatives in California?
No, officer, I don't have any relative in the California.
Okay, what subjects you want to go and study there?
So, officer, in my bachelor's, I'm going to study the finance, accounting, management, basic economics, including the macro and the microeconomics, and apart from that, the finance.
Why do you want to study these?
So, officer, these subjects will create a fundamental understanding of the business and the business operations, as well as the electives in this course in the university that I have chosen provide me the opportunities to study the machine learning as well as search engine optimization that will increase my business visibility in the online market and will help to increase the marketing strengthening in the further upcoming days.
Okay. So what are your career goals?
So, officer, while my short-term career goal is to complete my graduate and work in the Indian firm Hindustan Computer Limiteds, and for the long term, once I gain the experience from working in this tech firm, I will eventually start my own startup.
Okay. So what will that startup do?
So, sir, for now, I have decided that I will start a business consultancy that will provide the online solutions to the tech firms in India. So basically, I would choose to be start an outsourcing firm.
Okay. Acha, listen, not only for you, Hargun, but for everyone who's listening this conversation. So when you say that I want to come back and start my own company here, it is better to provide a very focused answer, right? So what kind of industry are you looking at? What are the problems that you've identified and what are the solutions that you can provide? Okay. Not just saying that I want to come back and start my own startup. All right. So
Okay, okay.
Hargun, you could always mention saying that there are small and mid-sized companies where they are struggling to be online. They do not know how to optimize their presence on the digital platform. They do not know how to do e-commerce. I would like to provide those solutions to them so that they can expand their businesses. There's a huge gap between what people are doing and what they can actually achieve.
Okay. So, officer, I just have one anxiety. Like, I'm not afraid to be the rejection, but the question is that on the internet there are a lot of hypocrisies that nowadays the officer are not just asking any question to the students, and they are just rejecting by saying, "What is your university? Sorry, I can't approve your visa today."
Okay,
So,
Hargun,
how
this
can I?
is yeah, this is a phenomena which happens every year. The internet is buzzed that if you go to X consulate on this window number this, where you just appear and the officer will not even ask you a question and your visa get refused. ये हर साल ऐसे होता है.
Okay.
All right. Now, for that, I always give an example like, all our cricketers, if they have to go and play in Australia, where they believe that, the Australian pitches are much faster, the bounce is much higher, there's Bradley. So they should not go and play.
No, sir.
They have
That's
to play ना.
not a.
तो क्या करना है हमारे को? हमको अपने को strong करना है.
Okay, sir.
Right? We have to understand what is the visa officer looking at, right? And when you're
Okay.
at the embassy, because the windows are in front of you, you can understand how the interviews are going there.
Okay, sir.
And it is very important for every individual to change gears, right?
Okay.
You see, one officer is taking long interviews, the other one is taking short. So once you appear on any of the windows, you must know how to navigate your interview.
Okay, sir.
That is the whole idea, because we are human, हम लोग अपने को adapt कर सकते हैं.
Okay, sir.
है ना? So the whole idea is not just to prepare your question answers, to know your subjects, to know your university, to know the implementation, know your funding, but also must know when you're standing in the queue, if their anxiety is coming, how do I control that? And give your best.
Okay, sir. So, sir, my interview is day after tomorrow.
Okay. So that's good. So prepare, keep your nerves on hold. अभी आपने सारे interviews सुने. You must know the subjects. You must know where
Okay, sir.
those subjects will be used to provide solutions. Right?
Okay, sir.
You must know the industries that you want to come back and work for.
Okay, sir.